Everyone doesn't agree on everything, but there should be some things, some common sense things that we actually all agree about. And that's why we're here. We're gathered here because, right? We have different backgrounds, people of different walks of life, people of different faiths, people with no faith at all. That's fine. And the reason we're gathered here in a public place is because we believe that those gathered here and the laws they represent shouldn't represent just one side of the story. We're here because we represent a belief that parents should be in charge of their families. Now, I come from a Christian perspective, of course. God told us in His Word that parents, who's in charge of families? Let's do a little interaction here. Who's in charge of families? Parents or children? According to the Scriptures, parents are in charge of families. I ask my congregation that all the time. Well, the government thinks not only is it not parents and not children, it's them, that they're in charge of those things. And government has a place in protecting the rights of families. Government steps in when someone in authority abuses that authority. But when a home is peaceful and tranquil and going forward in the right direction, the government doesn't step in and step on those things. And the longer that people of faith stay out of this arena, the worse it is going to get.
On our table is back there. Here's show and tell. We have this 20-page document. It costs a lot of money to print. Every time we go to print it, it costs a little more. But we have some back there. It's been translated into Spanish. If you'd like one, we'd ask for a little donation to help cover the cost of it. But this tells you exactly what's in the standards. We have highlighted the ugly. We haven't amended anything. We haven't embellished anything. The exploitation, the sexual exploitation of your children is right here in black and white, done by your State Board of Education by Phil and Tammy Murphy. We have a petition for absolute school choice. Absolute. 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 It's your tax dollars, not their tax dollars. That money does belong to you. You are to steward that money. And when the people elected in the legislature refuse to do that, you need to take them out.
The ongoing conversation about Drag Queen Story Hour makes things like anti-bullying, kindness programs, all about me posters, social justice lessons, CRT, and social emotional learning seem harmless. And that's the tactic. Because parents, if you're willing to accept a little bit of indoctrination, then we've already lost the battle. Distraction and confusion are the current strategies, and until now, they've been winning. As a former school principal, I am here to tell you that our public schools are not able to provide the very thing they tout: diversity, equity, and inclusion. Period. Full stop. Let me say it again so that Governor Murphy hears me. New Jersey public schools are failing to provide our students with an education that addresses diversity, equity, and inclusion for all. The very words that they use to promote what should be good and beautiful are made to be ugly and promote hate, because they are used to disguise the agenda. Some of you now might be saying, oh no, here we go, here's another conspiracy theorist, but wait a minute. I was a teacher and a school administrator. I'm married with a teenage daughter and a 7-year-old who's my mini-me. I assure you, I am well equipped to discern truth better than the FBI or the CIA.
Later on, my son comes home from 5th grade announcing, I can no longer help him with his math homework. Well, I have an electrical engineering degree. I thought I could maybe muddle through. But the problem was that if he did not do the problem exactly the way his teacher taught him, he wouldn't get full credit in the Common Core curriculum. I realized that's absurd. That's absurd. There is never one way to solve a problem, especially math problems. So I realized the Common Core was dumbing our children down, besides sexualizing the curriculum once I did my homework. So I joined with some folks back then who were fighting against Common Core coming into Jersey, but, you know, park testing and Common Core was really big business. A few concerned, wise teachers and parents, we didn't make a dent in that. On it came. Well, a while later, in my public high school down the street, the required reading for every sophomore in the high school was a pornographic book. So 400 petition signatures later, several visits to the administrators and the Board of Ed and all this, finally, it was the state attorney general who said, this is distribution of pornography to minors.
Because we can't trust public schools. Public schools are dead. They're government schools. And we will not let the government tell us what to do, how to train our children. They're our children. God gave them to us.